We compared the marks of Emma and Frida in 2 tests to find out who's performed better. Emma scored 80 marks out of a possible 100. Frida scored 40 out of a possible 50. The question is, who performed better? In simple terms, what we really need to do is compare the ratios 80 by 100 and 40 by 50. 80 by 100 in its simplest form is 4 by 5. 40 by 50 in its simplest form is also 4 by 5. As both these ratios are equal, we can say that both of them performed equally well. Here, we reduce the ratios to their simplest forms to compare them. But it may not always be that simple. Let's say we want to compare the ratios 6 by 7 and 16 by 19. Both these ratios are already in their simplest form and the values are also pretty close to each other. Using a calculator, we can see that the ratio approximately equals 0.8571 and this equals 0.8421. How do we compare such ratios? Here, let's look at a simpler way to compare two ratios. Say we have two ratios A by B and C by D. We assume that the denominators B and D are positive integers. To compare them, we just need to look at two products. First, the product of A and D, and second, the product of B and C. Product of these two and these two. But what do we do with these products? How do these two products help us compare the two ratios? There are 3 simple things we need to understand here. If AD, which is the product of A and D, is equal to BC, the product of B and C, then A by B will also be equal to C by D. If the product of these two integers is equal to the product of these two integers, then the two ratios will be equal. But what if AD is less than BC? It's simple. A by B will also be less than C by D. If AD is greater than BC, then A by B is greater than C by D. That's how simple comparison of ratios is. If the products are equal, the ratios are equal. If this product is lesser than this one, then the first rational number is smaller. If this product is greater than this one, then the first rational number is larger. Let's look at an example we saw a while back. We have to compare 6 by 7 and 16 by 19. So to compare these two ratios, all we need to do is compare the product of this integer with this one with the product of this integer with this one. AD in this case will be 6 times 19 and BC will be 7 times 16. 6 times 19 is 114 and 7 times 16 is 112. As we can see that 114 is greater than 112, we can be sure that 6 by 7 is greater than 16 by 19. That's how simple it is. But remember one important thing. The denominators have to be positive.